This is Jonathan St. James, and you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast. All right, folks. Once again, this is Jonathan St. James, and as always, this is The Truth is Still Straight podcast. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, folks. You can say the search is over finally, as we have heard from Sister Millie from the West Coast, and she is alive and well. And Sister Millie from the West Coast, we have her on the line. What do you have to say, Sister Millie from the West Coast? Hold on, let's go.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rice, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat, you name.
All right, there you go. Okay, Sister Millie, thank you for that message. You sound a lot like Shirley Caesar, but it's all right. Okay, folks, I'm going to get to the shout outs before we get to this Kevin Samuel business that we like to do. I know I can see people are not as loving these days, but I do want to show the love to those who support, and I hope you're still listening. And those people are Pedro Falcone, Sister Millie from the West Coast, Mr. Wilkes Mahir, Milton Gonzalez, who's always shouting out, Beverly, Snotty, Reggie, Courtney, K-Law, RJ Latoya Shoya, Michael Thomas, the Big G Galloway, Sarah T, James Wilson, Tyrone Biggs, Terrence Meir, JD Whitelaw, Julian Flournoy, Kid Vegas 8402, Eric Jordan, Michael McCreary, Kenny Alpha, Jario, Kane Major, Kundalini Lee, Marcus A. Morris, Heath, 313 Money Team, Tishon Howell, Steve Stowe, Marvin Banks, Anthony Perry, Nelson Fu, Luke Afsaf, Be Minded, TM Rowland, Flavor Sweet, Eric Jordan, Glenn Isaac, McTow Griffin, Soapbox Willie, Steve Opoku, Brian Lindeman, Jojo A Go, Big K3695, Still Sharp and Still, Plug 2, Chaos Angel, Thomas Ford, Gary Leonard, Fidel Castro, Frank Antang 4, Marcus Renton, Kunya Z Almighty, Burundi Shall Smile One Day. Special shout out to that person. I don't know if it's a male or female. I hope it's a male, but I'm shouting you out. Brother, I'm thinking the brother. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Joe Fitt, Jonathan Pope, Corporate ENT, Dominic Volpe, 10 Lassie, Total Misdemeanor 75, Amajek, Showtime, Michael Ray, Michelle Carlisle, Sandra Jones, Cobra Clutch, Jay Wade, MD Sutherland, Salah Aldine, No Edit Vlog Philippines, George Stewart, Jose Garcia, Jana Lambert, Tyel Cole, and Day Day China. Thank you for the support. All right. So we're going to get up into this Kevin Samuels reaction once again. Basically, this is from August 11, 2021. Dating doesn't work for modern women. IG Live gets real. And it's going to start about the 40-minute and 1 second mark. We're ready to roll the tape. Here we go. Get it popping. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I am 31.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm sure you saw the topic. What do you got up? Dating is dumb.
So I agree with you. And especially now after hearing the first lady speak and kind of putting the pieces together. And I do agree that I think females, we don't necessarily look for the right things.
How dare you?
All right, before I get started, this is a short video, so I'm going to try to let it play as much as possible before I respond to it.
For example, myself, I wasn't like sexually active until my 20s. So sex was always out of the picture when it came to relationships. So I had a list of basically like all of the responsible things that I was looking for in a man. Finally, when I found that, the sex was off, but I still stayed with the man for like 4 years. I'm willing to marry the guy.
Are you okay? The sex is off, but everything else is right.
Yeah.
Did
Like he was responsible.
But hold on. Did you want to get married?
I did. I mean, in the back of my mind.
Did you want to get married going into the relationship?
Yeah. Here's my thing, ladies. Ladies who are listening, if you've never had sex before, can you explain to me how the sex is off? Just curious how that happens. I know not that I'm bragging or anything, but I was sexually active as a young age. And I know I wasn't rocking it when I was a teenager back then, but I do know that my girlfriend, she loved every bit of it. Not to say because it was great, but because at the time when I was in the relationship, there was this strong emotional tie we had from her to me. So she was stimulated by the attraction she had for me being in this relationship, and not because I was good in bed, because I wasn't. I didn't really know how I was doing, figuring it out. But and you have no experience, that tells me something wrong with you if you go into a relationship and you're not satisfied and you never had sex before. So it sounds like she was sort of brainwashed into an expectation that she never even had before. So it makes me wonder, what was she involved and engaged in before they got together that she felt she was unsatisfied. Anyway, let me continue this.
Of course, yeah.
Was he marriage minded going into the relationship?
He was like a traditional type of person, like getting married before babies and all that.
And you guys didn't marry?
We didn't. We ended up living together.
Stupid.
That's the thing. So I thought I was on the right track, but now hearing the way that you're saying it, it's true. This is how you end up 40 alone with no kids, because you waste so much time thinking or being scared that something will go wrong. So you're basically running out the clock to then be like, oh, I was right. Thank God I don't have to get divorced now.
Yeah, there's some truth to that. And that's the problem with women today that strive for success, because they've been told that a man's not going to be around, can't depend on no man. So there is a fear tactic. I don't know if it's intentional or because this is other women projecting, and sometimes fathers too, men projecting on women things that they've experienced or have knowledge of anecdotally, but don't understand that, yeah, okay, maybe it'll work, maybe it'll not work, but you got to give it the best effort. No one ever says, well, there's a good chance you're going to flunk out of school, so don't go because you may not pass. I mean, there's a reality that happens. There's a lot of people who go to college and never finish or flunk out. But we don't encourage people to perform less in school because there's a possibility they don't graduate. We only do that with relationships. That never made sense to me, but I digress.
We just have to break up.
That's it.
Yeah. So my thing is, like, how do you get over that initial fear? Because I mean, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect, and I'm still.
Did you ever learn how to swim?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever learn how to swim?
I did, but I don't remember it specifically.
You stupid.
How do they get people afraid of getting in the deep end of the pool?
You just shove them in, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just like you and the other woman proved, there's no amount of taking it slow, moving in, this and that. All you get out of that is the same level of exposure and heartbreak, but nothing. No tax break, no nothing. And it's generally not the men who are hesitant. Modern women are 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because you're 1 foot in, you want traditional men, but you want to be modern women. You got to pick. You want to be a modern woman, buy a dog, go live with your girlfriend. You want to be a traditional woman, get in leadership, get in role, get in your line, get in your role. Because he has a role, you have a role. Whether you work, both are working or not, but you cannot have it all.
Yeah, we almost at the end of this video. I'll let it play.
And when you try to have it all as a modern woman, you have what you guys have. Nothing. And unfortunately, we don't have these conversations. We have women telling women to take your time, don't make a mistake, such and so forth. So when somebody like myself comes along and say, what are y'all waiting for? It sounds crazy. But what really sounds crazy is when you guys get to explain what you're doing instead.
Yep.
That's why I hope women hear these things, so they'll start saying, at least if you were married, you have 4 years into a marriage. But that's the thing. It seems like today many women don't even value a man Like him being in the house. You said you guys live together?
Yeah.
How long?
Out of the 4 years, we were together for 2.5, living together.
Okay. So what was the thought process of moving in together and not getting married?
Well, I was in a circumstance where I couldn't move back with my parents, and I
Let me stop it there. It's almost over. It's less than a minute left for this. But I just want to say she had family drama. The guy had a place to stay, comfortable living for her. That's why she stayed there for 4 years. She couldn't take care of herself. She couldn't find somewhere to move on at that time. So that's why she stayed so long. He was very comfortable, probably had a comfortable lifestyle, and she maintained it. I'm guessing until something better for her came along in her mind, because that's what usually happens. They stay in a situation like that, unsatisfied for whatever reason, whether it's sex, this, that. And then when they find a better situation to jump to, they then jump ship. And I'm pretty sure that's what she did at some point. Either that or he got tired and kicked her out. But judging from the conversation, if I believe her, what she's saying, if I take her at face value, he wanted to be with her more than she wanted to be with him. So she tried to minimize it by saying he was scared too, but he offered her a place to stay and talked to her about getting married possibly. But she couldn't get past that she was sexually not satisfied.
also so it was basically like financially wise for the both of us.
Okay. Did he want to marry you?
Yeah,
But you didn't want to commit to him.
Nope.
Like, yeah, I was gonna wait for him to propose.
No,
and
you weren't.
I just didn't. At the end of the day, I was like complacent.
If he wanted to marry you.
No, but not at the moment. We were both like on a track.
Okay.
We were both kind of like on a timeline, and I was just complacent. Like, I loved him, but I wasn't like fully fulfilled.
Nope.
Because of the physical part.
Nope.
Get a dildo. Pleasure yourself.
That's I don't care about.
Let me tell you, this is guys, if you meet this kind of woman, run, because she appears to be agreeable and isn't very much so. This is the end of the video. I'll let it run out so you can see that it's the end. But
that was my solution. I know that was my solution.
But you moved in with a guy without making him commit to you. And you say he wanted to marry you. How do you know that?
Because we spoke about it. And when we broke up, he even said, I really thought this was it. Like, we were both very emotional. And
all right, let me help you ladies out. Men who want to marry you go buy a ring. They don't do all this stuff. This is why, haven't you heard stories where women meet a man and under 6 months they're married and it seems like everything went so fast and then you got 4 years? Because that's what a man who wants to get married does. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do these baby steps. But if you're moving in fear, he's moving in fear, y'all don't need to be together.
I agree.
Right.
So I appreciate it, though. I'm going to go on to the next part. See, ladies.
All right, and that's the end of that.
The sign outside says this here school is for instructions in the martial arts. So we thought we might get some lessons.
Yeah, if that makes sense to you, that is from The Last Dragon. Shonuff, Julius J. Carey the third, I believe his name was, played Shonuff. And here's the thing. She said a lot there, but didn't say a lot. And a situation like that is she's in search of something better than what she had before. And you got to fight your battles and see what you can really get and what you can't. And if the sex is not too good, I don't know. I don't know how we get past that. I think we've over-sexualized relationships, and it's very difficult to maintain if the man is not living up to the expectation. So I'm not going to say men are better than women at relationships, but I do know men find themselves dedicated to women in the aspect of staying in the relationship when the sex is not bad. Not good from the woman. I know plenty of men who are not satisfied by their women, but they're still with the person maintaining the relationship. All right, folks, it is that time for the braces. Relationship braces. Bringing hearts together, one heart at a time. 31-year-old woman who seems sexually unsatisfied. what can I possibly tell you to get you out of that sense of foolishness and find love? Well, here's the thing. You can base relationship off of sex. That's just a recipe for disaster most of the time. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of guys out there who slay it all the time, and they love to find a lot of women to slay. And often you can be the one that falls victim to their conquest. And believe me, you're not going to like it. So you need to understand that you got to transition from what sexual pleasure is in your mind to what it should be, and try to get it to match that. There are things you can do to stimulate yourself more doing sex with your significant other. And maybe you should find those and possibly suggest things to your mate, to your man. Got to figure that out, because that should not be the be all to end all. And if it is, you got a lot of growing to do. And when you do find a guy that sexually satisfy you, he's probably going to sexually satisfy someone else. And that's it for the braces. All right, folks. Once again, it is the Truth is Still Straight podcast. And until next time, I am